Radha Ramana Hari Govind Jai Jai.
So theory. Now something about practice. What practice? I want to talk about kirtan, or chanting the holy name more specifically, more generally. I want to talk about the importance of chanting the holy name and find some practical instructions from our teachers how to chant the holy name. And also that includes what we're going to think about while we're chanting the holy name. All of that. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he appeared to manifest the holy name in the world. At least that's the external reason for his appearance. There are other reasons as well. When he appeared, it was in an eclipse. And in Vedic society, when there's an eclipse, it's considered inauspicious, so everyone chants the holy name. So everyone was chanting. All the Hindus were taking bath in the Ganga, and they were all chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And the Muslims going, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So everyone was chanting Hare Krishna. Everyone was chanting the holy name. And when he was a baby, he would cry, and then they found out that, if they chanted the holy name, he'd laugh. So everywhere he was crying, and then they chant the holy name, and he was laughing, and like this. So in his childhood also was full of the holy name. And then he manifested Nam Sankirtan. When he came back from Gai, he manifested Nam Sankirtan. So his instruction, he was quoting from Brihanaradiya Purana. Harinam, Harinam, Harinam eva kevalam. Kalo nasteva, 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 gatiranyata. 3 times. Harinam, Harinam, Harinam. Chant the holy name, chant the holy name, chant the holy name. In this age of Kali, there's no other way, no other way, no other way. Karma doesn't make it. The results are temporary, it doesn't get you perfection, and it's troublesome. Yoga doesn't make it. Very difficult in this age, results are temporary, it won't give you the final perfection. And Gyan also, knowledge. It's very, very difficult, and it doesn't get you to the ultimate perfection. Chanting the holy name, this is the way, this is the way, this is the way. So this is the Dharma for this age. In Satyayug, they're performing meditation a long time. They're living for 100,000 years. Valmiki is meditating for 60,000 years. We can't do anything like this. In Treta Yuga, huge sacrifice with very highly qualified brahmanas. How would they light the fire? With matches, cigarette lighters? No, mantras. And I remember I taught Vegavan how to... There's 2 chemicals, if you mix them together, after a little while they burst into flame. So one time we were having a fire sacrifice, so he put the 2 chemicals on, and he said, okay, now we're going to chant the Hare Krishna mantra. No chanting, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. But the Brahmanas, they didn't have to do this. Brahmanas, they could kill the sacrificial animal and then give it a new life. And if not, if the mantras didn't work, then they'd be guilty of cow slaughter. What the hell? So they're very qualified. We don't have those qualified Brahmanas. In Dwapara Yuga, deity worship, but such opulence, such elaborate deity worship, it's not possible for us. So here in Kali Yuga, what is the process? Chant the holy name. In every Kali Yuga, some empowered personality comes and teaches the holy name. But in this Kali Yuga, after Krishna came, so Krishna himself comes, he takes the place of the Yuga avatar, the incarnation for the age, and he gives the holy name. But what holy name? Brajnam. Hare Krishnas, none different from Radha and Krishna themselves. Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishna Varnam Tviza Krishnan Sangapangastra Parshada. Yagyai Sankirtana Praya Yajanti Samedasaha. Krishna himself, he comes. Krishna Varnam, he's describing Krishna, Tviza Krishna. But his complexion, it's not Krishna, it's not blackish. So then what? Golden. Sangopangastra Parashadam. He's accompanied, instead of having weapons like Parasuram or like Vrahadev, Nishingadev, claws, he's got the holy name. And he's accompanied by his associates. So those who are very intelligent, they'll worship that incarnation by the Sankirtan Yajna. This is sacrifice for this age. So the holy name, it's none different from Krishna himself. Now I'm going to talk about practice, so I'm not going to go into Nam Tattva so much. That we'll do soon. Holy name is not different from Krishna himself. So it's very, very auspicious vibration. Srila Prabhupada, when he made his gramophone record in 1965 or 66 I suppose. So he gave very simple instructions. He said, by practical experience also we can perceive that by chanting this Maha Mantra, or the great chanting for deliverance, one can at once feel transcendental ecstasy from the spiritual stratum. And I remember, I don't know your experiences, but I remember when I was in bad shape when I first met the devotees. I was desperately looking for some kind of reality. And I remember especially when the kirtans, chanting and dancing slowly and then building up the rhythm, and devotees start dancing. And I could feel, wow, it's real, it's real. It was the first time that I felt something coming in from meditating in the mountains in Japan. It was so wonderful. Kirtans are so wonderful. So there's you can chant Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola. How long you can chant? But we've been chanting for 10, 15, 20, 30. Shamaran's been 40 years. And every day is something new. There's not ordinary sound. This chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare is directly enacted from the spiritual platform. Then practically how to chant. So Prabhupada says, chanting involves the activities of the upper and lower lips as well as the tongue. And he says, sometimes one mechanically produces a hissing sound instead of chanting with the proper pronunciation. This won't do. This is an instruction for chanting, but we have to go beyond this. Some devotees still, I think, even senior devotees and my Guru Maharaj's disciples, they think that this is the last instruction on how to chant the holy name, that you should chant audibly. But there's more to it than that. We can go deeper, and we're expected to go deeper. This is for beginners. In Jaiva Dharma, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur quotes instructions how to chant. First of all, he's talking about the japa mala. The beads, they should be made of tulasi. Gurudev is very, very fussy about that. When the devotees come with their beads, he just throws them away. If they're not tulsi, he throws them away. Tulsi is so auspicious. And the mala should be shaped like a cow's tail or a snake. Means that one end should be thick and the other end thin. Now those where it's just the same on both sides, you throw those out as well. Don't touch the japa mala with the forefinger. So Gurudev explains. This is like kunja. This is a pure heart. And 108 beads, 108 gopis. And the middle, the end bead, Radha and Krishna. This is the Krishna bead. We will see that Radha is large and Srimati Radha. Radha is large and Krishna is a smaller part. This is Radha and Krishna and 108 gopis. And there should be this, like a cord here, something after the eight principal gopis. Chanting between the thumb and the middle finger. One bead, one mantra. And the left, this finger, Gurudev says, this is, I curse you. It's for anger. So we keep it outside the bead bag. Now, how to chant? A little more detail. When chanting the holy name, first of all, manas sanharanam. We have to fix the mind on the name of the Lord and remember pastimes connected with the name. Srila Thakur Bhaktivinoda is explaining. The mind of the conditioned living entity wanders to different subject matters. So one should stay in the association of devotees and control the mind, like this. So in other words, the mind has to be fixed. Just chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna, and physically making these sounds, Hare Krishna, this is not actually the holy name. It's letters. It sounds like the holy name, but it's not actually the holy name. So there's instructions that we have to fix the mind. What we have to fix the mind on. So ideally the pastimes of Krishna. I'll talk in a little bit about some alternatives there. Then shocha. So we need to be clean. For chanting the holy name, we should be externally clean by bathing and chant in a pure and clean place. So this will also help. Otherwise, the mind, if we're in a dirty place, then we'll be affected by the modes of passion and ignorance. So that's external. And then internally, we should keep the mind away from lust, anger, greed, envy, and like that. Clean state. Mona. At the time of chanting, we don't talk about anything else. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hey, Prabhu, you know the latest, I just saw this game. Because I don't play games, but you know what? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hey, you know what's on telly today? Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Hey, listen. You know what just happened? You know what so-and-so said? Whoa. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. This is not. It's like Jabba Jabba. Sometimes I remember being with devotees, and there'd be like an endless procession around the middle of the room, big room, and they'd be talking, and then finding the next person, put it around his shoulder, Haribo, Haribo, and blah 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 blah, and then they go on a bit, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, and then come to the next person like this. Gurudev says, don't be talking like this. Best thing, even walking up and down, you can't concentrate so well if you're walking up and down. Sit down. Mauna. Avyagrata. Restless nature of the unsteady mind. So we should chant with a peaceful mind, not restless, moving here and there. And the body also shouldn't be restless. We should try and settle down. Anirved. We shouldn't be discouraged by the fact that we're moving slowly. We should move. In other words, we should make progress, but we shouldn't be discouraged if we're making slow progress. Or slower than we want. We want to become enlightened. We want to be dancing with Radha and Krishna in a couple of weeks. But it doesn't happen like that because we've been dancing with so many other people for so long, in so many lifetimes, even so many creations. So these habits of mind, habits of the heart, they take some time to get out. But they're going. They're going. And then Namarta Chintan. While we're chanting the holy name, the sadhak should remember Radha Krishna's pastimes of meeting and separation. So Srila Prabhupada, he said, when you're chanting, you should fix your mind on the sound of the holy name. I was doing that for more than 20 years. And I was becoming really, really frustrated. I was trying to do it, becoming really frustrated. And then Gurudev said, when you're chanting Hare Krishna, you just remember Krishna. So Prabhupada also said this, that you remember Krishna when you're chanting. He said in one lecture that this chanting Hare Krishna is a very inexpensive process. You think, I'm making a beautiful golden throne, and I'm putting Krishna on the golden throne, I'm decorating, there's jewels, there's everything, anything we can, in the mind you can do. And he said that will purify everything that's going on around. At one time, our Premananda Prabhu, he was with Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. So Prabhupada, he was crying. He said, I used to meditate, chanting and meditating on Krishna sitting on a golden throne. And he said, now I have golden thrones in so many countries all over the world. He was crying. He said, this is so powerful. Chanting is so powerful. So Srila Gurudev, his instructions, what to think of when we're chanting the holy name. He says, somehow or other at the beginning, somehow or other fix your mind. Like, for example, you can meditate on offering puja to Gurudev, offering puja to the deities, performing Brajmandal Parikrama. He said, it doesn't matter, if your mind wanders when you're chanting the holy name, no problem. Just let it wander in Braj. So go to Giriraj Govardhan, what are you going to do? Offer obeisances, you'll have incense, flowers like this, right? And then Parikrama, then Jamuna, Mansarovara, Tekadamba, different places in Braj. Deities, Brinda Devi. So each going, offering obeisances and becoming a little absorbed in the moods there. It's just like Madhukari. A bee is going bzzz, sipping the flower here, bzzz, sipping some nectar here. Bzzz. So also performing Madhukari. But like here it's saying that we should try to remember at the beginning, try to remember Krishna's names and the pastimes associated with the names. And more, remembering Krishna's pastimes. Like I'm seeing Asha Maharaj, he's got Gopi Gita, and he's remembering the verses and meditating like that when he's chanting. And at the beginning of Bhakti Rasayan, Srila Gurudev is explaining how the teachers, original teachers, means himself, meditating on one shloka maybe for half an hour, becoming absorbed in the moods, and then another one like this. He said throughout, and they wouldn't even know where the night went. So like this, these are some instructions on how to chant the holy name. So, name is chanting the holy name. This is a principal practice in this Kali Yuga, and it's a principal practice in our devotional service, Nam Sankirtan. And how to practice, we should be one-pointed and trying to absorb. It's not just a physical thing. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. 3 things, not just 2 things. Shravanam, Kirtanam. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. Hare Krishna.